Welcome to my YouTube channel IT Academia by Arvind sir. In this video lecture, I am going to start with Unit 3 of PHP. Okay, so Unit 3 is basically about file handling, session, cookies in PHP. So basically we have to handle how we are going to handle the files, what is the session, and what is cookies in PHP. Along with we have a filter in this. Now let's have the detail about this unit. So the contents that we are going to study in this unit are: number one, how to open and read the file, how to create or write the file, how to delete the file, how to upload the file, what are cookies, what are sessions, and filters. So these are almost seven new topics we have to study in this unit. So let's start with the first one, file open slash read. So to open a file, open function is to be used. So let's start. A better method to open files is with the fopen function. Okay, this function gives you more options than the read file function. Okay, so basically we use fopen function rather than this read file function. So we will use the text file. First you have to create a text file, that is webdictionary.txt. Okay, throughout this lesson. Okay, so this is my text file. This you have to type in the txt editor. Okay, and you have to save this as webdictionary.txt. After that, the first parameter of fopen contains the name of the file to be opened, and there will be the two parameters. Second parameter specifies in which mode the file should be opened. Okay, so you have to pass two parameters. Okay, first one is the name of the file and second is the parameter. Okay, in which mode, read mode, write mode, append mode, in which mode you are going to open that particular file. So the following example also generates a message if the fopen function is unable to open the specified file. So I have written a code for that. Let's have an example with this. Doc type HTML body, then we'll start with the PHP. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to write $myfile and then you have to write a code for opening of that txt file. So what you have to do, fopen webdictionary.txt, first you have to create and you have to write that, and r means read the file, because here you are reading the file. Already that file is exist, and through this code you are going to read that file. Or if that file is not exist on the system, so this error will come, unable to open file. Next is echo. This is for printing. Fread $myfile, then file size. Okay, webdictionary.txt. It will open the file. Fclose. So whenever you just opening this file, at the last you have to use close also. So to whom you are closing this, your file name. So what is the file name? $myfile. This variable, in that I am storing this my file. So that you have to close. Just close the PHP, close body, close HTML. Then output will be like this. So whatever you have written in the text file, that will come to the browser. Okay. Next is, the file may be open in one of the following modes. So these are the modes. You just go through it. R, W, A, X, R plus, W plus, A plus, X plus. Okay. So R, open a file for read only. The pointer starts at the beginning of the file. W, open a file for write only. It erases the content of the file or creates a new file if doesn't exist. The file pointer starts at the beginning of the file. A, append. It open a file for write only. The existing data is in file is preserved, means that file will be there. In that it will going to append. Okay. X, creates a new file for the write only, returns false, and if the error, if they already exist. R plus, open a file for both read and write. Okay. W plus, read and write, a plus read and write, but there will be some conditions. These conditions are there already, so you just go through it. Okay, so basically you have to just remember RWA and X. Okay, so this is R plus W plus A plus, means both you can do at a time, read also, write also. Okay, so second is file create or write. So PHP create file, okay, fopen. The fopen function is also used to create a file. Maybe a little confusing, but in PHP a file is created using the same function used to open the file. So whatever you are going to use for the opening the file, fopen is to be used. Same open file we use. If you use fopen on a file that does not exist, it will create it. Means if that particular file does not exist, then what fopen will do, it will first create that file, okay, and then this it will open for writing W or appending A. The example below creates a new file called testfile.txt. The file will be created in the same directory where the PHP code resides. Means wherever you are saving your PHP code, now there only you have to use that file. There only you have to create that particular file. Otherwise, you have to give the complete path. So it is better wherever you are saving your PHP file, just save there only. So this is the example $myfile equal to fopen text file dot txt in W mode. So PHP write to file, fwrite. The fwrite function is used to write a file. Okay. The first parameter of fwrite contains the name of the file to write to, and the second parameter is the string to be written. Okay. The example below writes a couple of names into a new file called newfile.txt. So we have an example for this PHP. So you can embed a HTML also, doc type HTML body, and after that you can write. Okay. So somewhere I have written, somewhere I have not written. Okay. So what I have done, I have created a file. If the file is not there, since you are writing W, that file gets created, new file. Okay. In that I have appended John, okay, because first one is the John, then I have written it to the fwrite myfile.txt, means first John will get appended to that, and after that Janny Doi, okay, will be appended to the next. Means first this will print and the second this will be printing on that, and then close the file. Okay, so notice that we wrote to the file newfile.txt twice. Since this is written twice, newfile.txt and .txt twice, but we have written only once. New file.txt. Each time we wrote to the file with this one. Wow, number 1, number 2. This is declaration, but we are writing the files twice. Number 1, number 2. Okay. So each time we wrote to the file, we send the string $txt that first contain. So John Doe and second contain the John Doe. So Janny Doe. Okay. So first one is this and second one is this. After we finish writing, we close the file using the fclose function. Okay. So if you open the new file.txt like file, it will look like this. So once you open that file, so you will get this output. Okay, John and then Jan. Third one is file deletion. Very simple thing. Whenever you want to delete your file, you have to call this function unlink. So whatever you have written in your folder or text editor file, that will be completely deleted. So you have to write unlink file name and then context. Okay, so parameter values you have to pass. File name, which is required, specifies the path to the file to delete, and context optional, it is optional. If you want, you just write it, otherwise it is not required. It specifies the context of the file handle. Context is nothing but it is a set of options that can modify the behavior of a system. Let's have an example for this. You have written the PHP file, okay, that file you have written in open mode, echo file hello world, okay. After that you have written a file okay, hello world, saying hello world testing. Okay, now after that you are closing that file, and with the help of unlink this text.txt, your file gets deleted. So you will, in the output you will get nothing. See, the output I am not shown, but you will not get any output in this. File upload, this is very important concept. File upload. With PHP it is easy to upload the files to the server. However, with E comes danger, so always be careful when allowing the uploads. Okay, so configure, first you have to configure the php.ini file. First ensure that PHP is configured to allow the file uploads. So in your php.ini file, search for the file uploads directives, and so it should be on. So first you have to this thing file uploads directive should be on. So first you have to see this. First create the HTML form. Okay. So now create an HTML form that allow the user to choose the image file they want to upload. So for that, this is the code, very simple. HTML head, HTML body, form action equal to upload.php, method post, encryption type, okay, multi-part slash form data, and then next select image to upload, input type file, name file to upload, id is file to upload, okay, input type submit, value upload image, name submit, form close, body close, HTML close. Okay, first just write down this code. See, I have not executed it. You just type the same code on the browser, execute it, and after that just write down the upload.php code and check whether your image is uploading on the form or not. So some rules to follow for the HTML form is above. Make sure that the form uses method post. So post method compulsory you have to use over here. There are two types of method, post and get. So compulsory you have to use post method. The form also needs the following attribute. So this attribute you have to use. Which one? This one. Encryption type, multi-part slash form data. Okay. It specifies which content type to use when submitting the form. So without the requirement above, the file upload will not work. So this is our basic requirement to upload a file. If you are uploading a file, these two concepts should be there. This requirement should be fulfilled. Other things to notice is that the type file attribute of the input type shows the input field as a file. Okay, select control with the browse, select control. Okay, with a browse option button next to the input control. The form above send the data to the file called upload.php. So it will look for this upload.php that you have to create next. So create the upload file PHP script. The upload PHP file contains the code for uploading a file. So this is the code for uploading a file. PHP first target. See, this is the variable. In that variable I have created a folder called uploads. Okay, second variable I have used this target directories dot base name $file files to upload, and then name. Okay, array I have created. Upload equal to okay 1, image file type equal to str, okay, str to lower, string to lower, path info, that is this target file, and then path info extension. Okay, check if image file is actual image or fake image. Okay, so first you have to check whether whatever the image they have uploaded will be the actual image or fake image. So with this you are going to check. If is set means it is used for checking. Once you click on the submit button, so it will check get images this files to upload temporary name. Okay, if check equal to not equal to false, so file is an image. Okay, and upload the okay, else file is not an image, and upload okay equal to 0. 1 means true, 0 means false. Okay, so this with this we check whether we are uploading a proper file or not. Next, create the upload file PHP script. The upload.php file contains the code for uploading a file. So with this we will upload the file. Same code is here. Okay, I am proceeding with the PHP script explain. So here dot target underscore directory equal to upload. it specifies the directory where the file is going to be. So whatever the file you are going to upload, it will come onto this particular directory, that is folder. Okay, so whatever the user will upload to the form, so this images will come onto this directory. Target file, specify the path to the file to be uploaded. Which file? Path. Upload okay equal to 1 is not used yet, will be used later. Okay. Dollar image file type, hold the file extension of the file in lowercase. Next, check if the image file is an actual image or fake image. You will need to create a new dictionary called uploads in the directory where upload.php file resides. The uploaded files will be saved there. Okay, that particular folder. Check if file already exists. Now we can add some restrictions. First, we will check if the file already exists in the upload folder. If it does, an error message is displayed and upload OK equal is set to 0. Check if file already exists. So if the file already exists, so this code you have to write. If file underscore exists, dollar target underscore file, file already exists, dollar upload equal to 0. Now together, limits file size. The file input field in our HTML form above is named file to upload. So now we want to check the size of the file. If the file is larger than 500 KB, an error message is displayed and $upload OK is set to 0. So this you have to write file to upload size is greater than this. Sorry, your file is too large. Okay. Limit file type. So the code below only allow the user to upload JPG, JPEG, PNG and GIF file. All other file type given an error message before setting the $upload OK to 0. So like that, allow certain file format. If file type is JPG, PNG, this, echo, sorry, only this messages means this kind of the files are allowed, other files are not allowed. So now together the code is there. Check file, allow files to be open, check if upload is set to 0 by an error, etc. Now after that, complete upload file PHP script. Complete upload file upload PHP will look like this. So the same thing, but here all the things we have called in a okay. So see the whole code will be there to upload the file. So after that, once that part is done, you just combine all the code together, okay, execute it and see whether your code is working or not. So that is your homework part that you have to do. Okay, next is cookies. Okay, so let's see what is a cookie. A cookie is often used to identify a user. Okay, means if you are using my website or if you are using my any which are on the internet, if you are using it, so who is the user of that particular thing? So the cookie is to be used for that. A cookie is a small file that the server embeds on the user's computer. Each time the same computer requests a page with a browser, it will send to the cookie to cookie to send करता है. With the PHP you can both create and retrieve the cookies values. So let's see how to create the cookies with PHP. A cookie is created with the set cookie function. Syntax is set cookie, name, value, expire. There are so many parameters, so all are not required. Only the name parameter is required, all other parameters are optional. PHP create or retrieve a cookie. The following example creates a cookie named user with the value John Doyle. Okay. The cookie will expire after 30 days. Okay. That means 86400 multiplied by 30, because the slash means that the cookie is available in entire website. Otherwise, select the directory you prefer. Then we retrieve the value of the cookie user using the global variable $cookie. Okay, we also use the iset function, we can say iset is set, okay, to find out if the cookie is set. example. Let's see, this is the example. Okay, so PHP $cookie name equal to user and value is John Doe. So set cookie name and then $cookie value time plus this time 8644 equal to 1 day. Okay, so HTML body close, then PHP is set $cookie name, so echo cookie name $cookie is not set, else echo cookie dot is set. Okay, that cookie name will be there. So strong note, strong this physical tag. Note, you might have to reload the page to see the value of the cookie. So this is the example and this is the output. Cookie name user is not set. You might have to reload the page to see the value of the cookie. So you have to, once you reload the page, then the value of the cookie will be set. So that set cookie function must appear before the HTML tag. HTML tag. Let's see. HTML tag. Okay. First you have to say HTML tag means what? First you have to include in this. Then okay, cookie value and all. Modify a cookie value. So this way you can modify the cookie value. Cookie name is user, cookie value is Alex Potter. Now cookie value, right? Now I have change the value to the Alex Potter. Okay, the rest the things are same. Okay, so this reload the page. So what the output you will get? Cookie user is set, value is John. You might have to reload the page to see the new value of the cookie. Okay, so just execute this code and then see. So to delete a cookie, use the set cookie function with an expiration date in the past. So you have to use this cookie doc type PHP, set the expiration date to 1 hour ago. So like this you can view user and then type this. Okay, cookie user is deleted. So output will be like this. Cookie user is deleted. Okay. So check if cookies are enabled. So the following example creates a small script that checks whether the cookies are enabled. First try to create a test cookie with the set cookie function, then count the $cookie array variable. So like this. So first what you do, first create a cookie, test cookie. Okay, test time plus 3600, HTML body, count $cookie is greater than 0, cookies are enabled, else cookies are disabled. So output will be like that, cookies are enabled. Okay, so cookies are there. Okay, all these topics. Next topic is session. A session is a way to store the information in variables to be used across the multiple pages. Unlike a cookie, the information is not stored on the user's computer. What is a PHP session? So when you work with an application, you open it, do some changes, and then you close it. This is much like a session. Okay, for example, you have opened WhatsApp at 12 o'clock and you have closed that WhatsApp by 12:15. So that is the session. So this is much like a session. The computer knows you, who are you, who you are. It knows when you start the application and when you end. But on the internet, there is one problem. The web server does not know who you are or what you do because the HTTP address doesn't maintain the state. So session variables solve the problem, this problem. Kaise? By storing the user information to be used across multiple pages. For example, username, favorite color, etc. So by default, session variables last until the user closes the browser. Okay, so session variables hold information about one single user and are available to all the pages in one application. Start a PHP session. So to start a PHP session, we use session_start function. Session variables are set with the PHP global variable called $_session. Now let's create a new PHP page called demo_session1.php. In this page, we start a new PHP session and set some session variables. So PHP start the session. So firstly you have to write this session start, close the PHP, doc type HTML body, then PHP set session variables. So $session underscore session, where favorite color is green, $session favorite animal equal to cat. So echo printing session variables are set. Question mark. Of course, PHP close, body close, HTML close. So what will be the output? Session variables are set. So note here, the session start function must be very first thing in your document before any HTML tags. Start a PHP session, get PHP session variable values. Next we create another page called demo session2.php. From this page we will access the session information we set on the first page. Okay, so whatever we have set on the first page, we are going to access over here. Now notice that session variables are not passed individually, so to each new page. So instead they are retrieved from the session we open at the beginning of the page, that is session start. Okay, from there they are. So also notice that all the session variable values are stored in the global $_session variables. Let's see the example. So firstly we have started with PHP session start, doc type HTML body, then PHP echo session variable that way they are set on the previous page. Okay, that is favorite color, favorite animal. So I am calling over here. Okay, let's see the output. So favorite color is green and favorite animal is cat. So we have created the session there, but here I am calling that. Okay, with this. Modify a PHP session variable. To change a session variable, just overwrite it. So let's see how to overwrite it. So $session equal to hello and then print that. So that color gets overloaded. So you will have hello. Okay. Next, how to destroy a PHP session. So you have to use session underscore unset and session underscore destroy. Okay. So let's see the example. Session start. Okay. Remove all the session variables. Session underscore unset. Destroy the session underscore destroy. Session will be destroyed. So like this you will not get any output because session is destroyed. The last topic of this unit is filters. So validating data means determine if the data is in proper form, and sanitizing the data means remove any illegal character from the data. The PHP filter extension. The PHP filters are used to validate and sanitize the external input. The PHP filter extension has many of the functions needed for checking the user input and is designed to make data validation easier and quicker. The filter underscore list function can be used to list what the PHP filter extension offers. So why use filters? Question is. So many web applications receive the external input. External input data can be your user input from a form, cookies, web services data, server variables, and display data, database query results. Okay. So PHP filter variable function. The filter underscore variable function both validate and sanitize the data. So together I have used this function and with the example. Filter variable function filters a single variable with a specified filter. It takes two pieces of data. Number one, the variable you want to check, and then type of the check to use. So let's see, validate an integer. The following example uses the filter underscore variable function to check if the variable underscore $integer is an integer. If it is an integer, the output of the code below will be integer is valid. If integer is not an integer, the output will be integer is not valid. So what we do, we have written a code, okay, HTML body PHP variable declaration 100 we have declared in this. If not equal to filter underscore variable, so what I am going to do, this I am going to validating this filter underscore validate integer equal to false, echo integer is valid, else if this is not equal to so it is valid, otherwise it is not valid. So since we have written a number, so it is an integer. So what you have to change over here, you just write down your name along in the single quotes. Okay, so it will be the string. So if you change this and you use the string or any other other than the integer, then it will show the integer is not valid because it is not an integer. This will be the second output. For that you have to change there. Okay, so this is all about unit number 3. Thank you so much for watching this video.